Okay, welcome back to Rick Poorly Plays Dark Souls 3. We're gonna give this another shot. Going up on the rafters. Carrying it back to Virginia. My character's looking pretty cool. This is the Dark Armor set. Very savage, very wilderness. I love it. Kind of makes me look like I've got weird hair growing out of my back, but I don't even mind. It's kind of like it's supposed to be a cape. Actually, it is a cape. I think it's just frayed. Yeah, it's a frayed cape. Yeah, it's so cool. A nice touch. Great armor designs in this game. Got some like classic fantasy stuff, but also some stuff that's a little bit more on the edge. If Dark Souls were a book series, which it should be, oh my gosh, I just thought about that. It would definitely be more along the lines of like Game of Thrones or The Witcher, as far as fantasy goes. Woo! Aw, what? It would definitely be along more the lines of dark fantasy, grim dark fantasy. So it'd be like Song of Ice and Fire, something like that. Man, I would read that. I would read the crap out of that. It's actually, I mean, it's fairly easy to compare it to Song of Ice and Fire because there are all these details in the background that are really important, but also not, but also are at the same time. So it's kind of weird. For example, the Cathedral of the Deep, if you read about it, the Lord Soul that's supposed to be in here, the Lord of Cinder, because you're trying to, just as a recap, you're trying to gather the souls of the Lords of Cinder and return them to their thrones in order to start the cycle of rekindling, I think. I think that's why. And, anyway, the Lord Soul that's in here is this guy who started out as originally, he was originally a cleric, or like a church guy, a church leader, and he, oh gosh, he was originally a church leader, and he was just like in this position of power, and he got into this, they say he got into the habit of devouring men. And then he devoured so many he turned into like kind of a fleshy ooze. And that was his fate. And then so they moved him to the Cathedral of the Deep. Now, that's really creepy. But if you think about it, it's really, really cool. Because, woo, if you think about it, it's really, really cool. Because what has basically happened... Oh dear. That's... Okay, these things are really creepy. What's basically happened is that this church leader got too kind of drunk on power or concerned with power, and he started abusing that power by literally devouring men. But metaphorically, I mean, that's a very powerful metaphor, especially when it comes to people in power, right? Devouring their followers just because they can. And he devours so many that he becomes a soft sludge. And I don't know, it's just really, really interesting. And there where he gets so fat that he becomes kind of this monstrosity. But at the same time, you know, he's given up on... Ooh. He's obviously not doing the right thing anymore. I wish I weren't trying to think this through while fighting these really creepy things, because it's really hard to make it sound intelligent. But I think there's definitely something there that's really neat about how leadership goes awry when given too much power, right? Absolute power corrupts absolutely. Is the same. These things are creepy. I feel like this has something to do with that storyline. Like these are his followers after he eats them, or before he eats them, or I don't know, man. They're creepy. It's definitely a part of the game you don't want your 2-year-old boy to see. In fact, there's really very few parts of this game. Maybe the beautiful vistas and the nights. He likes it when I'm at the bonfire, which is usually the only part he gets to see. Alright, so there's a bonfire in here, and I know from my playthrough on my Herald, I'm just a little bit farther ahead, that this is, in front of me, a kind of deity or something. You have a covenant. And the covenant of rebirth. So this is what's called an invasion covenant. Invasion covenant, so if I were to go and equip this, Rosaria's fingers, then I do homage to her every time I kill another real player in PvP. So by invading someone's world and trying to kill them in PvP, if I succeed, I get for this covenant, you get a pale tongue. So you cut their tongue out. It's pretty gross, but so is she. And when you give her a pale tongue, you can do certain things, like you can change your attributes or your appearance. If you give her 10, she'll give you a special item. If you give her 30, she'll give you like a super special item. So it's really cool. You can change your appearance, like I said. You can change all of your stats, which I don't know if they've ever done that before. So I could literally make this character basically a knight. Like I could completely reallocate her stats. Up to 5 times in one playthrough, which is really, really cool. I mean, you would almost not have to worry about ever having to do... Oh! I got the worms! Let's not fight these guys anymore, they're just too gross. Go back to the bonfire. So as you can see, the Cathedral of the Deep is just not a great place. But there are these bassinets everywhere, right? Because it's the Covenant of Rebirth. It's really interesting. This is another place where my dad would say, who comes up with this stuff? Alright. Oh, let's head back to the, let's head back to the Firelink Shrine. I was waiting for that to pop up so I could remember the name. And we'll go ahead and level up here.
Welcome home. Speak then. Very well. Then touch the darkness within me. Take nourishment.
Alright. Wow, level 50, huh? So I definitely want... tough call. Actually, I think I'm going to go attunement. So I'd like to get to where I have 3 slots.
Farewell, Ashen One.
I don't know why I have Great Magic Weapon on there. I think I was just messing with it. Seek Guidance. So right now I have Fire Orb. And I think I'm going to go ahead and throw on Great Combustion there. Ooh, Orb Poison, Mist. These are all pretty good. Great Combustion's cool. I'm not exactly sure how to use Combustion. I know it does a lot of damage. I think you use it when you're behind somebody. You're just like, yeah, like that. That's what a little combustion looks like. I know it does a lot of damage, like critical damage. I'm not exactly sure the purpose of it. I should probably look online and see how people are using it. I know it's like it's been in the other games. I've never played a Pyromancer though. I'm assuming there's some strategy for using that particular spell. Recently, my Pyromancy trainer mentioned going to Izalith, which I do believe we go to in this game, though I have tried to avoid spoilers. I know that you do go there at some point. And if we go to Izalith, there's supposed to be super legit pyromancies there. So, pretty excited about that. I think pretty soon what's going to happen is I'll get a Chaos Flame, which replaces my Pyromancy Flame, which is actually an equipped item that you can level up. Oh man, get away from me. Just no. So anyway, if you've never played a Pyromancer, maybe you haven't played this game. This is the Flame, and you upgrade it just like you upgrade weapons, which is different than the regular sorcery or miracles. So Pyromancy is really this really visceral thing. It's supposed to be really primal. So it's like primal spellcasting, which is why a lot of it is just so, well, primal. It's really cool. It's very different thematically than miracles or sorceries. I think I'm going to have to venture out onto the floor. Can I get down from here? I don't think I'll make it if I drop down. What did I do before? I did a completely different thing before, actually. Boosters. I think I need to go to the other bonfire. Gotta get that elevator working. Alright, so before I sign off, let's try to invade. Let's try to get a pale tongue. Gross. Alright, so you need to use an ember. Oh, I have an Estus shard. Not realize that. Alright, and now we're going to try to invade.